All right, guys. Another great night here at Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. We're here for the first time in New Orleans. The card absolutely delivered. The crowd was enthusiastic. It was another great night coming off of Knucklemania last week. We didn't know what to expect or how to compare to that event, but I think this event lived up to the billing. Lost another suit tonight. Great night for BKFC. Really, some great fights all the way through. First fight started with the first round knockout. We had a draw in the second fight, which I thought was a very good fight with Cody Mitchell and Brandon Menez. Blake Lacaze came back and stopped Brett Williams. That was a really good competitive fight. Then you had our youngest guy on our roster, Tyler Samus, coming off of a first round knockout. Actually got dropped in the first round. Got up to stop Cody Shiev, which is another good sign for this kid. I'd like to see that he was able to take a punch, go down, get up, and finish business. He looked really good. We had a very good technical boxer out there, David Bosnick. Fought a guy, Andrew Angelcourt. Questionable decision. I actually thought Angelcourt had the edge there. The judges ruled that one a draw as well. First time ever in BKFC history we had two draws on one card. And then as you move up, Tony Jenkins came out of nowhere and caught Dylan Weinmiller with a nice little right hand in the eye and ended up stopping him after he got dropped a few times and was really getting punched all over the ring. And he came back and showed what this sport's about. Dennis Labruza, big bad Dennis Labruza, came back tonight and landed some great shots and ended up knocking out Stephen Reese in the second round. And then Duke Sensley and Joshua Creer fight of the night. That will get the fight of the night honors. That was a great back and forth fight. Experienced 5-0 professional boxer versus a very good MMA fighter in Duke Sensley. Great fight. Then we went up to the feature fight of the evening. We saw Caleb Harris just destroy Brad Kelly, something I was not expecting to see. I was expecting a way more competitive fight, and Caleb Harris just looked like the Caleb Harris that really wanted to make a statement in that division, and I think he did tonight. I think he really truly made a statement. He came out, he was all business, and he scored that first round knockout. Very impressive win. Actually, that will be KO of the night. So that would be KO of the night. Award goes to Caleb Harris. Then we had my guy coming over from Wales, James Lilly, fighting a very tough as nails Bobby Taylor, who always comes to fight, hard as a rock, throws punches from everywhere with bad intentions. And James Lilly was able to come out really strong, took a couple shots from Bobby Taylor, and then ended the night. James Tilly will probably be lining himself up for a 155-pound championship title bid now. He's proved that with his 3 victories in Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship and the Bare Knuckle victories he had prior to entering this organization, he's the real deal in the 155-pound division. And then the main event, what can I say? I mean, how do we top the main event from last week? I don't know if we topped that main event, but you got a guy that was dropped 3 times, Alan Belcher, really literally 1 second away from his fight ending at a KO loss for him. Got up and ended up knocking out the current champion, Arnold Adams, to win his first professional championship, the BKFC championship. Alan Belcher is now the official baddest man in the world. He is the BKFC heavyweight champion. Anybody have any questions?
Yes, I do. Susan Cigar here from Bare Knuckle News. What do you feel like the level of talent is compared to when you first started? Because to me, it looks like each time we see a bare knuckle fight, the fighters get better and better.
Yeah, we're just getting better and better fighters on board for BKFC now, and it's incredible. I mean, the guys are coming to fight. I mean, tonight was actually Knucklemania. I think we had 2 fights go to distance, and I think we had 2 fights or 3 fights in knockout tonight. We had a lot of fights that went to distance tonight. It was a great night, competitive because we're matching them really good, and like I say, in this sport and with these rules and in this platform, it's hard to have a bad fight.
Any updates at all on Alan Belcher's eye? Because it looked like he had a really serious injury. He came back and he destroyed Arnold Adams, which is credit to his heart and his fighting and his championship style. But I just wanted to know if you've heard anything about his eye and how he is feeling, sir.
They're just stitching him up now. He's actually going to come in here. I don't know if he's going to have any in-depth damage. I really don't know. We have the best physician in all of combat sports, Dr. Don Musi, and he's going to make sure that we have the right diagnosis for him to get the kind of treatment that he needs, if he needs treatment. And if not, that's a great thing. Fought a war like that, and he's the heavyweight champ now. And now it's going to make it even more sweet when we go back to Biloxi, Mississippi.
So you have had so many great fights, and we've got more fights coming up that we should talk about. So kind of take us through the next couple of fights that are happening up to Denver.
We just have next week we go to London, the return to London. Last time we were in London was an incredible moment for BKFC. We're going back there. It's going to be an amazing fight with Jake Lindsay versus Connor Tierney for the other half of the 165-pound elimination to see who fights for that championship. And then we move into Delray Beach, our first time in Delray Beach, the inaugural fight for Daniel Strauss, who former Bellator world champion, coming in here and fighting Dat Win, who Dat Win is one of the best bare knuckle fighters that we've had that had really good skill and technique. Then we move into March 24th, where we have a doubleheader title fight. We have Britton Hart defending her title in a rematch against Jenny Savage, and we have Reggie Barnett defending his title against Gustav. I can't say his last name. I apologize, but he's a 4-0 bare knuckle fighter right now from England and from Thailand. Fought in Europe, and in Thailand, and that's going to be an incredible fight too. Then we move over to April 22nd. We go back to the UK. We go to Leeds. We're going to have a tremendous fight card there. Former world title challenger Jamie Cox will be taking on Elvin Brito in the main event of that fight, and in the co-main event we have Anthony Holmes will be taking on. I can't remember, to be honest with you. It's going to be a great night. And then on Wednesday, 2 p.m. on the Ariel Helwani show, I will be announcing the top 4 fights for our epic April 29th card in Denver. Will be our biggest card to date.
What do you feel like is next for you as far as other states being cleared for bare knuckle fighting? You've worked awfully hard. We're in, I don't even know, I lost count of how many states, but when you first started, there was only Cheyenne. So you've really put the time and effort in, and I applaud you for that, sir.
Well, I always tell all my people around me, I say, just do the right thing. Like, we all have tough days. We all, have tough fights, tough events, and we don't know if we're getting to the next one, and, tough in between. And we say, always do the right thing. And we've always done the right thing, and that's why, people that never heard of us before don't really know what we are, and then they watch us for the first time. They understand that we are doing the right thing, and, it's growing, it's expanding, and I expect to be in a way better place in 1 year from today. And truly, in 2 years from today, I do really, truly believe with all my heart that we're going to be the number 2. I'm not going to go to number 1 yet, but we're going to be at least the number 2 combat sport promotion in the entire world. Any combat sport, I think, will be number 2 in 2 years.
Thank you so much for your time, David Feldman, and I wish you good luck in all your future endeavors.
Thank you.
I got one for you. Let's talk about the fans. So excited tonight, opening the Big Easy. It's the first time we debuted here. Just talk about the excitement for you as we continue to debut all these towns, all these cities, and open them up, and we get such a great response from the crowd. That's got to feel great as the president and founder of this organization. Yeah,
absolutely. What was so great about tonight is I didn't expect that type of crowd or that size of crowd to come here tonight, because we were on the heels of Mardi Gras. It was Fat Tuesday this past Tuesday, and our promotion got swallowed up with all the beads and all the fun that everybody else was having here. So we weren't able to really get the promotion that I think we deserved. We did get some good coverage from our guy Ted over there. Gave us some really good coverage with local newspaper here, but we didn't get a lot of other coverage. And I think next time we're going to warrant that coverage. So I think next time we come back here, it's gonna be great. We're in a great place. I mean, great event after great event. We've had 3 events this year, and they were all A+ events. Every single one of them delivered. It's going to be an amazing 2023 for us.
All right. I don't. Do we have any other media questions? I don't think so. I know you have to go get fitted for a new suit by the looks of you, with all the blood on you, all the crimson. Your shirt's now red. I guess we'll be bringing somebody else in a minute. Do we know who's coming in next?
Yeah, I think we're going to get Arnold Adams.
Going to get Arnold
Somebody
Adams,
wants to
the
grab him.
former heavyweight champion of the world, called the most dominant heavyweight champion we've ever had. We're going to see what Alan Belcher does coming up here with the title. Maybe he'll become the most dominant, but he did defeat the most dominant heavyweight in the history of bare knuckle fighting championship. So I'm looking forward to talking to Arnold Adams to get his take on the fight as well in a couple minutes here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Watching at home, Arnold Adams, that's who's slated to come in here next. If you missed the show for some reason, you're tuning in late, don't want to make it a spoiler, but obviously, as we said earlier, he lost the world title tonight to Alan Belcher. And you can hear my voice a little hoarse. It was such a crazy night tonight with the fans here in New Orleans. And Alan Belcher, hopefully we'll get a word with him later tonight, too, after we talk to Arnold Adams. So much to unpack from the main event. Looking forward to catching up with Arnold Adams. Boomaye in just a few minutes, so hang tight for that. Thank you for being tuned in. We appreciate you staying up late with us for the post-fight media scrum. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is. The new heavyweight champion of the world, Alan the Talent Belcher, has entered the room. Alan, you got to be feeling good right now, man. You got to be feeling good. That's the one, yeah. You got to be feeling good, and we have a lot of media questions to get to, so we're going to jump into them right now. First, do you want to go first? Here we go.
Sure. Thank you so much. Alan, Susan Singar here from Bare Knuckle News. How did it feel in the squared circle tonight to hear them announce you as champion? You've worked so hard for this. It was 19 years. What was that moment like for you?
Man, it was very surreal. I visualized it a lot of times. Working on this fight particularly, I have been visualizing all of my family and everyone that was going to be there as part of my visualization practice. And it was really, I visualized it so much, it felt like a dream, honestly. So yeah, it was dramatic fashion too. It felt like a movie.
How important then was this fight to your legacy?
It's very important. I mean, yeah, this is when Dave approached me a few years ago and we made the first deal to come on to Bare Knuckle, that was the beginning of kind of sealing my legacy. I felt like there was a lot left on the table from my former career. I had a lot of regrets, and so I mean, from our very first discussion, it was about working our way to me being the heavyweight champ. He believed in me. He saw the potential, because I really, I wanted to go all the way. I didn't want to just come in and make a couple bucks fighting. I wanted to be world champion.
What a chin. How did you survive? And I mean, you're just unbelievable, the heart that you showed.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I'm pretty hard-headed. I can take a pretty good punch, so I've proven that. I was only knocked out in the amateurs one time, so I'm usually not worried about that. I didn't get hit with anything that really turned my head or did a lot of damage to my like my brain or anything. I was pretty much just getting my eyes cut up a little bit. So I was trying to stay focused. Every time he would land some punches, I could feel the blood coming down, but I was just trying to stay focused. Like that's just a little blood. That's a little cut. Those aren't that big of damaging blows. Actually the first one that I went down on, the knuckles went in my eye. So it was like a really hard punch straight to the kind of the eyeball. So the pain of that kind of made me react and go down.
So I have a question. I mean, what a fight, first of all. Kudos to you. The fight was awesome. As we said earlier, Dave was saying that we didn't think we could top Knuckle Mania 3 in the main event. Another great main event. Thank you for that. But, I mean, we saw it. Just speak on, is this the Arnold you expected? And there's a couple times where I feel like you could have quit, man. What was going through your mind?
Well, it was definitely a better improved Arnold Adams. We talked about that afterwards. He came with some new skills. He stood more square. He came with a double jab instead of kind of stepping back and throwing his up jab. I was expecting him to kind of feel his way with the up jab and go to my belly, and he never did that. So it kind of froze me with some of the stuff he was doing, and he was getting it to land. I guess in the first round, I'm kind of a slow starter. So you'll see that a lot of times my footwork and my head movement really isn't there in the first round, which is another thing that I was really hanging on to, is like, all right, I got kind of messed up in the first round, but I know that I'm going to come back later in the second round. But, yeah, what was going through my head was just win the fight, My family's sitting right there. A lot of people flew in for this. A lot of people paid their hard-earned money to watch this. I've set out to do this, and I'll be damned if I'm going to take the whole 10 count and not get back up and keep fighting.
Now, I don't know what you hear when you're in there fighting, but the crowd was coming unglued. They were insane for you. They were going nuts. As you're in there fighting, and do you hear that? Do you not? I don't know. But can you give a message to your fans, I mean, who've stood by you and now they're here watching you become the world champion? It's not just your family, it's all your fans too.
Yeah, 100%. The fans was a special moment, tonight. So they had me going right from the get-go. Right when the fight started, they were chanting my name. And so at that moment, if I had any doubt at all, I knew that this was the night. I have to leave everything in here. I have to work really hard. So I think a lot of my just how hype it was and how dramatic it was and how much expectations I had a lot to do with me kind of freezing a little bit and not doing so well in the first round and kind of getting behind. But I wasn't going to quit. So I tried to tighten it up, tried to get my footwork moving a little bit, try to get my head moving, but mainly I was just looking for a knockout. Honestly, when I was hurt and I needed to win the fight, I was trying every opportunity to hit him hard. I hit him in the body as hard as I could a couple times. I was looking for clinch punches, which usually isn't my style in bare knuckle, But man, I wasn't concerned with conditioning. I came in the best shape. I worked hard for it.
Another question over here.
When the referee asked you twice, did you want to keep going? I know you're in the moment right there, but do you have any kind of fear he's going to stop this?
I didn't see that big of a reason to stop it. I could tell the referee was going to give me the count, and he was cool with me continuing. So I just took the whole count and took a deep breath. My brain was telling me to quit, but my heart was telling me that you can't quit.
Maybe you've said this. What happened? How'd you turn it around there, the knockdown at the end of the round? What happened right there?
Man, I just turned it around by just having grit and just, not giving up. I whenever you're hurt like that, someone is coming to finish you. You have to be sharper. You have to be ready. You can't just stand there with your hands up and be like a wounded deer. So I knew that was my opportunity to come back.
Did you have any idea going into the third round, hey, I can end this right here? He's getting tired. I got him down. He's frustrated. He thought he had me. Do you have any idea there, or did you think this thing may go 5?
I was really at that point I wasn't looking for a decision at all. Honestly, going into this fight, I don't like the idea of fighting for a decision. I did that with my first fight with Tony Lopez, and I kind of got in there and I was like, all right, this is going to go 5 rounds probably. But I found that looking for the knockout the whole time is the way to do this. So going into the third, I wanted to go ahead and finish it before any cuts got any worse or anything like that.
From the looks of where it was, the blood was a lot worse than it wasn't really in a vital area or anything like that. Were you tasting it though, as they say? And was the blood bothering you in any way?
No, to be honest with you, man, the experience that I have, I've tasted blood a lot of times, and it's dripped in my eyes before. And tonight I just proved to myself that my mentality when I felt the blood come down was a little bit better than the last time that I felt it come down. I wasn't letting it bother me. It's something that I've grown.
One last thing. Did you know your father nearly got arrested for getting on the chairs and trying to lead this thing?
Nah, it doesn't surprise me. It's not the first time.
I thank you for that context. I didn't know it was his father. I have another question for you. I mean, look, you're the world champion now, the heavyweight champion of the world for bare knuckle fighting championship. You have a target on your back. Everybody's going to want that title, of course. That's why everyone's here. What do you see next? I mean, I saw Lorenzo's talked about going to heavyweight. Lorenzo Hunt, he was going around ringside. I saw him try to get up in there. There's other fighters. There's possible rematches. What do you see next?
We just got to go and talk with Dave, go to the drawing board and figure out what's the next big move that's going to be the biggest impact for the sport and going to be the biggest payday for me.
It's a good answer as he looks over at the president. I saw you look over at him. All right, any more questions from the media here, guys? We're good? Well, then give it up for the new heavyweight champion of the world, Arnold Adams Belcher. Congratulations, Alan. Post-fight media scrum. A lot of stuff happened tonight. We saw Caleb Harris make a statement. I mean, that was insane, and the crowd was going nuts. What a wonderful crowd as we opened up the Big Easy tonight, and a new world champion. History was made here in New Orleans. Congratulations to Arnold Belcher, and thank you to all the fighters, and thank you to the fans as well for tuning in. Have a great night, and we will see you in the UK right here on the BKFC app.